Well, I think I'm live, guys, so I'm going to get my channel up and get the chat going so I can at least see you guys. As you can see, I have got Jesse Boy out at the moment. He ate a couple of days ago, so he's got not really a full belly, but I've got Jesse Boy out. Hi, moment that. Hi Herman, how you going? Reptomaniac, Goat 720 Reisner, how you doing? I'm gathering that's Horse Reisner. You've changed your name to Gate. Goat Gate. Hi September Girl 70, how you doing? Oh, you love seeing Jesse. Cool. Hi Red Eyes, welcome. Today. Really good to see you all here. It's wonderful. Just setting up so I can see what you're seeing. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. I'm the same channel as in Horse Rising, but I changed it. Yeah. Hi, Pamela. Yep, Jessie. I thought, hi, Neo. Yeah. Hi, Kitty. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I thought I'd get Jessie out. Look, he's a bit of a terror when it comes to getting out of the enclosure. He's really not one of my snakes that likes to come out. As you know, he's a bit of a funny boy when he's being held, but he is. And look, I cannot believe just how, like, honestly, guys, I can't fit my fingers around this boy's belly. Hi, Carolyn, welcome. He is just growing, and I think it's the time of the year, summer. They're eating and they're hungry, and I'm feeding Jesse currently every 10 days because I know that he's hungry and he's just having a really massive growth spurt. So, you know, people have routine and feed days. I don't. I pretty much know from these guys. Hi Heidi, thank you. Monty is kind of the same with getting out of his, he's getting huge, Joe. He really, hi Angela, thank you. Oh, from Montana. There you go. I went to a goat sale and wanted a milk goat, but you didn't get one. You're right back. Okay. How old is Jess? Jess is 3 now. Still got a bit of growing to go, and by the looks of him, he's going to be bigger than my Lily. Hi Norvis, 8-legged critters. Your favourite streamer. No, you're just too kind. Hi Makeup by Cassie, welcome. Thank you, hun. Jesse is, apart from his little bit of wonkiness, as he is when I handle him, he is, and believe me, I am so grateful he's so easygoing, because sometimes I do battle getting Jesse out of his enclosure, and I think, you know, if I were doing and trying to grab him and get him to come out like I do with a snake that did not have the trust, they would bite me. I'm telling you, and I'll show you one day what I have to do. Welcome back, Goat 720. Thanks, Norbert. He's just gotten himself some snakes and he's doing really well. Hi, Metal Hammer. Yep, and Jesse. I hope you can sort of see him quite well. He's kind of settled down a little bit now that he's out, but he's so nice and warm. Yeah, Jesse is a beautiful, and you can't see his yellow. He's going back into shed a little bit, so his yellow's a bit dull. They are beautiful to look at, but if you know them really well, to Makeup by Cassie, there's nothing to be afraid of them at all. I'd love to kiss Jesse on the head. Yeah, he'd let you too. Hi, this old stoner, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Hi, Mike. Walker Outdoors. Lovely to see you. I always miss Mike's videos or live streams because he does them so early in the morning. I'm sorry, Mike, but it's like 3 a.m. for me and I am sleeping. Venom Girl. That's Norvis's beautiful wife on there. I'm still nervous, but you still hold them, and that's just what you do. And the more you hold them, the less nervous you'll become. And of you too. Hi, Julie. How you doing? I have rats, so I'd be afraid of snakes eating them. Only if they were close enough to the rat to actually eat them. Makeup by Kathy, honestly, or Casey. I don't know which way you would say it. And always my phone rings. But just hang it up. Sorry. Hi, Bridget. Welcome. Weather, hot. Still really hot. I've actually got the air conditioning going in here at the moment. So, yeah, all my snakes are just hunkered down. They don't want to come out because it is really hot. Oh, KC. Okay, KC, can do. Hi, Steve Vlogs. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you. I got new chickens that are fuzzy. You'll have some like the new ones. Cool. Goat 720. You want to hold this snake? Look, it's probably the one snake that I can say to you is terrible to hold, actually. But he just grips with his tail and keeps a good support on me, and generally he's pretty good. But, you know, he's getting better, I must admit. Silky chickens, yeah, that is what they are. Definitely my nose is going to start to run, sorry. Guys, I want to talk about stress in snakes. Oh, I'm glad, Steve. I'm really glad. A milk snake with the wife today. You got yourself a little active snake there, Norvis. He's going to love to zoom around all over the place. So I'd get building some sort of little climbing area for your milk snake to have a little area to climb on too. Exercise is good for them, really good for them. Don't care what sort of snake you've got. Exercise is really good for them to build up their muscles, and they need to be able to do that. You think if you're just feeding your snakes and they're just left laying in there with nothing to climb and don't come out, they're going to get fat and unhealthy. And that's why I say, I mean, Jesse's muscles are really good because he grips me and I can't ungrip him very often once he gets a good hold of me. But stress, I really wanted to speak about that today. Will do. Takes him off my hands. He's still held it firm off in my hands, but will do. He takes off in my hands, but oh yeah, it's okay when they're little. Hi, Buzz TV, welcome. It's okay. Yes, I do, Steve. I have one, and she's a Darwin, and I actually had a Maya out last week. I could have got her out today, but I had her out last week, and she hasn't got a full belly. Yes, all the time, Pamela. I take my snakes out regularly, up to about twice a week, because I think that it's good for them to get that UV. I don't have that in my enclosures at the moment. I am interested. I did have when they were younger, but in their new enclosures I haven't put it in, but I would like to, definitely. Oh yeah, Heidi. Yes, absolutely not. Look, they all do. I don't want anybody to ever consider a snake as not a pet. Hi, Deadhead. Welcome. Hi, Tosh Time. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Sia is doing really well, Reptomaniac. And I just did a video and it was pretty dark of her actually having her second feed. So yeah, she's doing really good. And I've got a video to actually go with that, with her out with me here in the lounge room. So that'll be up this week for you to all have a look at. She's doing incredibly well. I'm really happy with her myself. You know, I'm amazed at a snake that spent 3 years with very little social interaction. But diamonds, I have to tell you, are already very much like that. Anyway, very placid. Hi, Cami. Thanks for coming in today, Dom. But you can't see Jess because he's hiding down there. And I'm gonna, you'll see it's a perfect, yeah, she is. And I've got a few more things to go in there for her. I just got a nice log. I have all my wood radiated before I buy it, or before I bring it home. I have it all radiated for them, so I know there's nothing on there that can harm them at all. Cool, thanks, Norvis, that'd be great. Oh, thanks, Venom Girl. Yeah, people like my tattoo. I'm a bit of a flower person, and I've got them on my back with all my other kids' names there as well, but this arm will be a snake. So, yes, Jesse will get bigger, most definitely. And his girth is pretty much Lily's now. He's just got length to go, and I don't know how much thicker Jesse's going to get, but he's going to get bigger. Yep, they eat rats. Absolutely. Hi, Dee Dee. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Now, stress. I will get onto the subject. Because it has a big impact on our snakes, and we forget that, you know, I always, hi Tim, welcome. We as humans feel stressed, and you must remember, I relay me and my snakes as having very, very similar emotions, and stress is one of them. And oh, hi, Mr. V. You love big snakes. Jesse isn't my biggest Mr. V, but he's getting there. Hi, Kitty. Welcome, honey. Helping to change a lot of. I hope so, Kitty. Hi, Jerry Lynn. Thanks, Star. Hi, Bob. Welcome today. I'm going to put this down so you might see more of Jessie, and I hope it don't fall, but it's not going to sit. My goodness. There you go. You might see more of Jessie here. I'll get on to everybody's questions if you have at the end, because I know that some people really want to know a little bit more about stress with our snakes. And I think it's very important that people understand that it's not always related to the environment that they're in, or, you know, people, that there are the basics of stress, and it can be environment. It can be that they're not well, that they're feeling unwell. Yeah, thanks. That's actually my eldest son's name as well, Venom Girl, Jesse. So, yeah, I just named him that, and I guess a name I'll never forget either. But, you know, there are, and I've written notes because, guys, oh, thanks, Norbert. Just want to say you're one of my favourite streamers now, and a big reason now I'm breaking my fear of them. I'm so glad that means. Oh, and Cami, I forgot that Cami needs to be able to see my lips. Thanks, Norvis. I'm so glad that I can help you. That is Hi 666 Demon. Thank you for coming in. Sia's doing really well, Jerry. That was why I did my channel. and my videos was to try and change people's minds about snakes if they fear them or are worried about them, concerned that they're going to be bitten, that they're nasty, that they're mean. They're not. And I oh, no worries, Cammy. I just remembered, Dale. I know that people think that about snakes, and they're not. They're nothing like that at all. Have you ever had a Northern American red belly snake? Bob, I can't have anything that isn't native to Australia here, unfortunately, because there's so many I would have if I could have non-native species. So no worries. Thanks, Mike, for popping in. From one animal love. No worries, Norbert. I will keep them coming. I'm glad, Jerry. I'm really glad. I know that I have been able to reach a few people through my videos, and they've let me know. Hi, Munson Burner, welcome. Does handling snakes cause them to get stressed out? Now, Pamela, that's an amazing, well, not an amazing, a brilliant question, because I get asked that all of the time. And all I can say to you, when you first get a snake and bring it home and it hasn't had much handling, yes, it can. And the important thing is to remember to take it slow. So when you first get one out that you brought home, 5 minutes. And what I like to do is, you know, because they're quite panicky and they're all over their place and they're doing everything to try and get away and they're not settling. Wait until they settle. Let them become quite calm in your hands first. Give them a few minutes being lovely and calm with you, and then put them home. And then in a few days, repeat. Get them out. Wait for them to calm down in your hands. Give them 5 minutes, and then put them home. What they end up learning is, if I calm down and relax, I go home. But you extend the time. And trust me, no worries, Jerry. Before you know it, there is none of this, oh my goodness, what is she doing to me? They relax right from the beginning. Then you can have them out for as long as you want, because they're no longer concerned. They've realised, hey, coming out is fun. This is really, really, really good stuff. And they love it. And Jesse's just settled himself down here and is just chilling right now. How many times a week? I handle all 3 today. The one was on the move, so I let him just follow, just stroll on the hands. Yeah. How many times a week? For brand new little babies, a couple of times a week is enough, Norvis. Remember, they're babies. That's what I tell people. Patience, absolutely, Bob. But remember that they're little babies. What do babies do? They eat, they sleep, and they poop. Same as with the snake. That's exactly what a baby snake wants to do. But you do have to get them out. Oh, that's what I've been doing with my jungle carpet, and she's improving all the time. And Joe, you've had a little bit of a struggle with your girl, but that's due to a past, and it's going to get better and better, and you've been so patient. Thanks, Jerry, for popping back in. You've been so patient, and it's going to pay off, Joe, and I think it already is. She clings to you. Even Carolyn can't get her to come on over because she's turning around, coming back to you. So she's already feeling safe with you, Joe. It's just taken you a little bit longer with her. Don't give up. Never give up, because she doesn't want you to. She might be giving you the impression she wants you to leave her alone. She doesn't. Not at all. So yes, baby snakes. My baby blood has been such a sweet boy. Still a little anxious, but he's definitely, yeah. But I do give everybody that advice when they've got a baby. Eat, sleep, poop. Eat, sleep, poop. Have a little time out with mum. Let them know that you're there, that you care about them. Go back to the eat and sleep. Not so much the poop, because I only do that maybe once a week, depending on how many times you feed them. What would the species of snake you would suggest for a beginner? I would like one in a distant future when I have my own place. Okay, Bob, that's a good question as well. I often say to people, the snake ends up ultimately choosing you. And it depends on whether you want a big snake or you want a little snake. And I don't think there's any difference between a fur snake being either going to be a big snake or it's going to be a little snake. It is completely up to you, Bob. Go to a reptile show. Excuse me, I just burped there. Go to a reptile show and walk around. Have a look at all the different snakes. You see one that just catches your eye, ask to have a hold. Ask questions about it. And I do believe they pick you more than you'll ever pick them. So if for me personally, I love my little spotteds. They're just lovely and they're so easy to care for and they're so easygoing. But would I say it's a beginner snake? No, because I think Jessie is, and everybody says jungles aren't, but they are. They honestly are. If you like jungles, get a jungle. As you can see, Jessie flinches. He goes, "Are you going to pick me up? I'm just quite comfortable here, Mum." So once I've sort of given him a little bit of a rub, he'll settle down. He knows, well, I'm not getting picked up at all. So stress, signs of they don't eat. They won't eat. And then in the next breath, I can say to you, what time of the year is it? Is it winter? Is it the species that you have in your life? Is it breeding season? So many factors. Is spotted? Oh, no, it's the Antaresia here in Australia. Bob. Oh, that's Norvis. Yeah, Antaresia, and that's the children's, the Stimsons, the Spotteds, are all of that species. Lovely, lovely little snakes. And Heidi and Neo have a Spotted and a Stimson, I believe. Yeah, good old Aussie pythons, can't beat them. And more and more people are actually worldwide getting them as well. They're starting to see them as being beautiful snakes. Yeah. They do pick you. Absolutely, Venom Girl, they do. I've had a person went not even wanting really to get a snake and walked past, and this snake just, he said, I didn't notice, but I turned back because I felt compelled to. And there was this diamond python on this guy and an older snake, 7 years old. And he went, that one. And he went over and he said to the guy, is this snake for sale? And the guy said, well, no, I wasn't thinking about, but, and anyway, he had a hold of him and that was it. The guy said, he's all yours. No worries. Instant bond. An instant bond. Now, this is a 7-year-old diamond python. Brought him home and loves him. absolutely loves him. A jungle carpet python to anyone who has the space and patience for an active snake. I agree, Reptomaniac. But all carpets are active, honestly, except for Jack. I think coastals, because they're so big, slow down as they get older, but as little ones, you'll be running, and it's fun. It's all fun, though. I like in Avatar, you feel the connection. Yeah, absolutely. You do feel a connection. How are yours? Is yours just bonding with you now? Who are you talking to, Norvis? Are you talking to me? Or Norvis, I'm not sure. Oh, we can't be talking to Norvis. It's Norvis talking. That's what you get for getting old. Cool, Venom Girl. Well, then you were meant to get that milk snake, and that milk snake is going to be beautiful in your life. I tell you, it will be. And where are you going, Jess? Jess is starting to get very curious now. And it's not about being curious. What it is for Jesse is, I'm going to the hangout spot, because he knows where it is. Who says they're stupid and don't know what's what? All my guys know where they are. Thanks, Bob. Smash the like. So getting back to stress, it does come down to environment, humidity, temperatures. Make sure that they're all perfect. That's really the number one that can cause stress. Bringing them home and putting them into a new home can be very stressful to them as well. Now, changing their enclosure can also be a little stressful for them. But honestly, move something from their old enclosure, or as much out of their old enclosure, over to their new enclosure. And even the substrate, if it's not dirty, bring the substrate over, because then their smell is there and they're going to relax a whole lot faster. Now, I found with Lily, changing her to a bigger enclosure, she hated it. She just didn't settle. And they can hear up to 600 decibels. Absolutely, Heidi. You remembered. Good on you. If anybody can answer the questions, because I'm not focused on them, please answer them, or let me know by highlighting my name, and I'll see it out of the corner of my eye. But not eating, change of environment, breeding season, they're looking for a male. Males are looking for females. They stress, especially if you have male and female in your home, which I do. I let them out together. That's how I alleviate the stress. I just let them hang out together. They don't get the opportunity to lock up. I don't let them do that. But I let them hang out together. I let Jack go and visit Lily. I let Lily go and visit Jack. I've got my eye on them the whole time, but here I'm getting caught up in my skirt. Don't wear skirts like this. But I let them hang out together, and I feel that alleviates their stress. Now, I want to talk more about unconventional stresses that I believe exist for a snake. And I know that us as humans get stressed by other humans, and it also stresses our snakes. To be so mindful of the fact that they can stress if you're stressed. And I've proven it. I was stressed going into hospital, and Lily knew it and reacted terribly. And then it switched to she's stressed because I wasn't here and she knew I was stressed when I left. I've got to remember this if I ever go away, to not show any signs that I'm worried, that I'm stressed. Now, am I saying to you, don't handle your snakes when you're stressed? When you're feeling stressed? I think you should be mindful that you are, and that your snake may react. And I'm not saying that your snake may bite you, but they will show different behavior, and they will grip you, and they will grip tight. They will be nervous. You'll see all the signs that they're feeling distress. They pick up on our emotions all the time. And that's why I try so hard to be calm around my snakes and be stress-free as much as possible. And I do use them to alleviate my stress, but I never go into them in a high stress mode. I make sure I've taken some deep breaths before I get them out. I mean, I know it's weird, but I believe they have better senses than us when it comes to this sort of stuff in their life. And I want you to know that it's not your fault either. If you're feeling stressed and you get your snake out and your snake starts to react, don't get concerned about it, because it just raises more anxiety between you and your snake. Bye, kitty. Thank you for coming. Had a great week since our phone call game. No worries, Heidi. I do just want you to be mindful that it's nothing personal against you. And I think people see a snake that is stressed and blame the person for it. And it's not always the case. Snakes can stress for so many reasons. And I've only just touched on a few of the reasons why they can stress. We need to understand that when you've created this wonderful bond with your snake, they read you as well as you're reading them. And remember that. You know, you see these people going with their hand up and it shows nervousness. Oh, will I, won't I? Will I, won't I? What's that snake do? Immediately reacts. And my Jesse, as I said, he knows where to go. He ain't no silly boy at all. As you can see, I've hung a couple of shelves there, which they've been using. I've made them nice and secure, so they've got some sort of levels to get up there, my little ones. For my little ones, Jesse's capable of getting right up there without any help these days. Where's he going to go? I've also got to keep my eye on him. I think it's a little bit far, just saying. Yeah, I can see him. Thanks, Bob. I kind of know where my snakes go, and it's always pretty much to the same spots. So, like us, why do we stress? We stop eating. Stay stressed long enough, you get sick. That's what will happen to your snake. Same thing. They stress. If you don't find out what's going on for them, they will get sick. They may have been sick to begin with. That's not stress. That is that they were already suffering with some sort of an illness. But if you get a snake that is perfectly happy, or healthy, not happy, but hi, happy trio, I'm glad. I'm really glad you do. They're healthy, but you can see them. Like I got Maya, and I don't know if Maya came with an RI or whether just the change and coming here and a new environment created that respiratory infection. She didn't seem stressed to me, but I might say maybe she was, and she got an RI. I know they also didn't have any heating for her. So I'm going to repetitively say, get to know your snake. Watch your snake, observe your snake. You know them. You will get to know them. Read them. Your snake's laying around in their enclosure all of the time and just never comes out of its hide, doesn't want to come out of its hide. Good chance it's stressed. Change the environment around your snake and see if that's what the problem is. Add some branches, take away some branches, remove some stuff. They start to come out, then you know he didn't like what you had set up for them. I could write a list this 1,000 miles long for you on all the variations of what can be going on, because for each individual snake it can be just so different. And I haven't got 10 hours to go through the multitude. What are my snake's name? Same with fish stress. If the environment isn't right, the pH, the acidity, what happens to fish? They get sick, they get a disease, they die. You know, it runs across with everything. Names of my snakes. Happy trio for you. Jessie is the one that is out. I'm going to turn you around so you can see my Lily, who is deep, deep, deep in shed. And she's going to shed today. I can tell already she's going to shed today. Jack, I have, who's a coastal. I have Tessa, my Bredley. I have a Pani, my patternless spotted python. I have Amaya, my tricolour Darwin albino. I have Maya, my spotted python. And I have Thea, my diamond python. Geez, I remembered them all. That's pretty good for me, guys. So yes, stress. Think about why we stress and think about what we need to do to alleviate it. Sometimes it's some humans out of our life that are stressing us, but we as humans are the only ones that can alleviate the stress for our snakes. They can't do it for themselves. We have to figure it out for them. I'm just trying to let you see Jesse up there, and then I can see him, and I know he's not going to disappear. He shouldn't. He's getting too big to go down the back of things. He's big, you know, chubby, bubby. They're very smart and clever. Fisher, my favourite goldfish. Do you know that they can train goldfish to do tricks? I've actually watched a video on goldfish jumping through hoops and picking things up from the bottom of their little tank. I was amazed. You know, I know my Oscar was very smart and knew who I was and knew who a stranger was. You've got, I actually have 8 snakes, Norvis, because I forgot to say, did I say Jessie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I do have 8. Now I have to count. Pink Zebra, thank you for coming. I was watching your crafts. Beautiful, just beautiful. They are. Piglets are very smart. They know their owner. Absolutely know their owner. I agree, Bob. Clever, clever fish. And I always say to people, they say, I'm no good at keeping fish. I kill them all the time. And I tell them, get an Oscar. Very hard to kill an Oscar, I tell you. And if you kill an Oscar, I don't know what to say to you. Oh, thanks, DM. Yep. Thanks I'm glad you caught me live too. Great to see you. So if anybody has a question related to stress, specifically, because I know I get so sidetracked, and I never, yeah, I saw your latest video, and that was just so cute, actually. And I've seen a few. I think you've sent them out to a few people, and they've absolutely loved them, and you packed them with some goodies and stuff. I think you're amazing. I can't do that. I take care of snakes. That's my thing in my life, I think. Taking care of snakes. If you kill an Oscar, it might be the tank size and alimentation. But yeah, cichlids are very hardy. They are. I've found I've had 3 in my life, so I've had 34 years of cichlids, and it's the first time I haven't had one in 33 years. And I still have his tank there. I don't know. Oscars are actually a problem in, yeah, they are an invasive species there, but not here, unless somebody goes and puts them in the river, and I'm sure people do, actually. Just like snakes, decide they don't want them anymore and then just take them out bush, and that's why we don't and aren't allowed native or non-native species, because we do know people would do it. Pink zebra, I was saying just how beautiful they are, hun, because I've seen a few of yours, and I've always thought, wow, you go to so much effort for people, and that is being one of the wonderful people here on YouTube, Dal. And I can say that I have met beautiful people here, and everybody on my live stream are amazing. They support you, they watch your videos, they give you thumbs up, come into my lives. What more do you want? I mean, and friendship, like friends, not just people I know on YouTube anymore. A lot have become my friends and would be welcome in my home any day. So if any of you ever make it here to Australia, I'd be very disappointed if you didn't let me know and come and pay me a visit. So, because I would love to meet you all personally. And I love watching lives, because you kind of get that a little bit with people rather than just their videos. I mean, I love doing my videos, don't get me wrong, because guys, I can stay on track when I do my live, and even then sometimes I get sidetracked, but I try to stay on point most of the time. But you know, I do want you to remember that we all stress in our lives, and we know to meditate, we know to breathe, we know to yell and scream if we need to. We know what we need to do to alleviate our stream. I'd love to, but sadly all my friends are in Sydney. I know you would, Reptomaniac. Everybody's just so nice. Oh, good, Munson Burner. Welcome anytime here. You know, I'd love each of you, not besides just meeting me, but meeting my snakes. I'd love you to meet my snakes and have time with my snakes. So you know, just so you know, that I could hand any of my snakes, and I know they're not going to hurt anybody at all. One of our worries with our snakes was them getting used to the sounds when Neo has a meltdown. Yeah, noise. I think I have tried to keep my snakes in a low traffic area. I don't have my TV blaring. I don't watch TV. This is a very calm space here, and that's why I have most of my snakes here. Unfortunately, Sia and Maya is kind of crept over a little bit more, But Sia is the one in my dining room, but it's still not a high traffic area. The kids sit there and eat their meal at night. Otherwise, they're over in the lounge, and noise, bump, it's a vibration, and it's a constant vibration. That's what the snake is feeling with loud, banging noises, is vibration. If I have my TV going, I put foam up under my speakers so it doesn't bump into Lily's enclosure, because I don't want her thinking, what is that? And constantly sitting there going, what is that noise? She can't see it, she can only feel it. So I try and alleviate as much loud noise as I can, and you will frighten your snake. Absolutely. If they can't visually see what it is that is happening, wouldn't you be afraid? It's a little like at night, if you're hearing somebody tapping on your windows or on your house or whatever, you instantly are stressed. And you alleviate that by getting up, turning on the lights and going and have a look and find out what that noise is. And once you've found out what that noise is and you know it's nothing, your stresses go back down. If your snake's laying in an enclosure and all they can hear is thump, bang, scream, yell, if they can't visually see it, then they're going to be stressed. So be mindful of that. Loud noises, high traffic areas, especially for new snakes, your new babies. My guys have gotten so used to it. They're just used to it. So, but I still keep my noise down. They're used to the dogs barking. They've just grown up with dogs barking. So, and my dogs have grown up with snakes slithering all over the place and climbing all over the top of them as well. But there are certain noises, that constant thump, bang, thump, bang. The quick scream or yell is one thing, but the constant is very stressful to them. So I hope that you're all chatting, because I'm waffling on my own here at this particular point. You know, if there's any particular subjects that you want me to talk about, anything that you would like to see specifically, let me know. And what I'm going to be getting myself is a Wi-Fi camera that I can Wi-Fi to my computer, so I can move around, and I might be able to stick you right in Lily's face, and you can see her. And so I can do a live feeding. Everybody has, oh, you've got your beauty out. Wonderful, Taylor. That's terrific. I know he's your real pal, your Beardy. Aren't you so glad you went and got him? And aren't you so glad somebody else didn't want him and he needed a home? Do your snakes get stressed with another snake? No, Pamela. No. All my snakes have been introduced to each other and do know each other. Breeding season would be about the only time, especially now that Jessie's reaching maturity and breeding maturity. Jack and Jess, but they're two different species as well. But Jack, I don't think, has got it in him to be that way inclined, actually, to fight over a female. But our coastals do combat with each other. So I wouldn't like to have two coastals, two males, fighting over Lily. They don't bite each other. They don't kill each other. They just wrap around and knock each other to the ground and keep going and going till one gets so exhausted, it goes, you can have her. I'm too tired to do anything with her now anyway. I think that's what they're thinking by the time they're finished. Would you be able to introduce Monty to my... Yes. Yes, for sure. No reason why not. I don't see why not. No worries, September girl. See you next week, and bye to Jesse. He's made himself and put himself in his favourite spot, which is just laying on top of my speaker. That's what Jesse does, just lays across it and goes to sleep. Hi, simple life of me. Thank you for popping in. Absolutely Reptomaniac, introduce them. They'll be fine. Watch them. You'll know. If anything, they're just going to avoid each other. They're not going to go in and hurt each other. They'll avoid each other. My main thing is remembering to avoid putting a brand new snake within your collection or mixing it in with your collection. I mean, I know that Sia has been in a room for 2 years where there's been no new snakes introduced, and she's completely clean, and she's not directly in here, and I don't have my other snakes out with her. I have her out at the end of the day, and then I still clean myself, and I don't think you need to strip off as such. I mean, I don't with Sia, but I know the guy and I trust that he's had a closed room for 2 years, so yeah, she's fine. My blooddy's living with my boyfriend right now, and we've had him for 3 months, no issues. Cool. Look, 3 months, I always say to people, it can take 2 years for a lot of diseases to appear. Nobody keeps their snake in quarantine for 2 years. Unless you've got yourself a $10,000 snake, then you probably would. But nobody can keep their snakes quarantined for 2 years. And I think 3 months is a really good time frame. 6 months if you can do it. I don't have the room. Hi, Jet. You got 2 kittens in 1 week, one about 5 days ago and the other 2. I'm glad you got 2 kittens, Jet. That's the best thing that you can do, is for them to have company, because you're not always available. And I had to do that for a little kitten that I had, who was only 24 hours old, and I had to hand rear him. And I went out at 8 weeks and got him another kitten to have with him, and so I could start leaving him at home. And I took my baby with me in a little cane basket shopping, and people often came up to me and said, "What have you got in that basket?" Thinking I actually had a human baby in there, would you believe? And I'd open it up and there'd be this tiny little grey kitten sitting there looking at them. And then I would go to take my shopping onto the whatever you call it, to be scanned, and the people behind me would see this little head pop out, and they'd ask her, "Can I hold your baby while you do your shopping thing?" And I'd say, "Cool." So spot rotten. Excuse me, Carlos, but do not use that word, please. Hello, Mauricio Perez, and welcome. No, thank you, Florida Diver, for doing that. Not in my home. Thank you. Cannot wait to grow with mine. So that bite is always on my mind. Novice, not going to happen. I honestly, unless your hand smells like a rat, it's not going to happen. So just make sure your hands don't smell like rats, and I think you're going to be pretty fine, honestly. And hey, I say the first bite is what you figure to be might be the worst bite. And then after that you go, well, if that's all it is, then I'm not worried about it at all. Jet, I wanted to let you know, you asked how to create social snakes. And I don't know if you got to see the video, but I did it with Tessa. And that video I did for you, Jet, because you asked, how do I get such calm? easygoing snakes. So I hope that video, I promise, Norvis, that first bite you will go, and that was what I was afraid of? You are kidding me. Honestly, truly, that's what you'll think. And you'll think, why was I ever so worried about it? Ask Heidi, what is it like to be chomped on by a spotted python? And her story is so different, really. It was almost like she was sucking on her finger, but then decided, oh, but then she was trying to be ungripped and she went chomp. Ask Heidi what it felt like. I mean, it's not pleasant. Who wants to be bitten? I think they are calm because you are calm. And that's true, Venom Girl. It is about you being very calm. And I get excited too. You know, don't worry. I know that's, you know, but I do. I get excited about things. I don't yell, but I do in excitement. I can be loud when I have to be, but generally I am calm. And I want my home to be calm. It's my safe place. It's where you should be able to feel calm. And I know for some that's difficult, and I know for somebody listening right now that's difficult, but you have a safe place. My safe place is right here in this room with my snakes. And somebody asked me, I've got a big shed out the back, to put them out there so I'd have more space in here. Oh my God, I'd move out in the shed. Honestly, I'd be living out in the shed with my snakes, and the people can have my house. So long as I've got my snakes right next to me, I'm happy. You're pretty crammed where you are, Norvis. Your room is getting more and more full, and now you've got snakes, and I'm expecting you've got your tower, haven't you? And I guess for you, that's the easiest way for you to keep your snakes, with what you've got. If nobody knows Norvis, he has so many spiders and scorpions and frogs and crabs and now snakes, and I can't name them all, but go take a look at his channel, guys. A multitude of different creatures, and I call them creatures in a beautiful way because they are. I love spiders. I don't think there's an animal I don't like. Maybe a mosquito, because they bite you and make you itchy, and green ants. I like that. Don't like green ants because they hurt too. Is okay. Yes, I feel animals can read our, absolutely read our emotions long before we can. And if I'm crying, my snakes are like looking at me. I can't get away from them here. Lily especially is the one that is so in tune with me. And would you believe I got Lily older? She belonged to 2 other people before she came to me, but she tuned into me so quickly, and my gosh, I've missed her because for the last 2 weeks she's been kind of hiding and going through a shedding process. And although today she came to the window to say hello to me, and that was her saying to me, Mum, I'm going to shed today. I'm telling her, I'm watching you, sweetie. If you need a hand, I'm right here. And I often give my snakes a hand, and not because I need it, just because I choose to. And I'll allow them to get their shed so far down, and then I'll hold it for them, and they just squeeze on out, and saves them a good half hour of shedding, I tell you. Oh, no worries, Norvis. You always mention me, and Norvis does a live, and it's the boom, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And there is so much happening in that room. And but he's there and he's watching and he grabs your comments. And I don't know how you do it. To be 30 years younger again, I think for me would be wonderful, actually. So guys, I don't know how long I've been on here. I've been on an hour, and I really don't like to keep people going and going and going for a long time, because we all have other people we want to catch up. Yeah, Novice is a good talker. I love him. He's great, and I know why you love him too. He's a great guy. Yeah, we all have other people to go and visit and say hello to here on YouTube, as well as me. And I appreciate all of you guys for being here today. It's truly wonderful. And next video will be of Sia. So I hope that you'll watch that video of my girl. And would my grandson like to say goodbye with Nana for a second?
I already watched you.
Oh, because I've had Jessie. Okay, I'm going to grab my grandson and he can join us for a split second. Would you like to say hello?
Say hi, everyone.
Look, hey, look at that. Look at that.
Casey.
Can I see you?
Yeah,
No, he can't. He's
He is.
just woken up, guys.
He's looking now.
Can I see you? Mm-hmm. Can you see you?
Hey, Dad.
Wow. Actually, it's really funny. No worries, Novice. Big love to you, Heidi. This little fella lays here. It's the last thing I'll say. And I say to him, "Where's Lily?" And he looks.
Where's Lily?
Where's Lily?
Where's Lily?
Look, Lily's there now. He'll look down over where her heat is. Because he knows, there's Lily. There's Lily girl.
There she is.
And now he can see her. I'm training him well to know each and every one of my snakes. Oh, thanks, Venom girl. Night, hun. I'll be back next week. Promise I'll be back next week. Love you all, and I do appreciate you really taking time out of your night, for a lot of you, or your day if you're here in Australia. And I'll get to each and every one of your videos. And Neo and Heidi, time to do that video together. Looking forward to that. Hi, Simple Joys. Thanks for popping in. I'm just about to leave and have some time with this little bud. And keep my eye on Jesse. You might be able to see him up there just chilling as he is. He can stay there for a while. He's happy. So night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, Aussies. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.